Hey class, it's Miss Flockoy. I have been getting a lot of questions on this assignment. This is due Tuesday, April 2nd. So real quick, I want to kind of do a couple of these problems for you just to make sure everybody knows how to do this again and kind of clarify how to do that second part also. So we did this first one already in the other video if you've watched it, but let's try to do magnesium again. So this atomic number is the number of protons. It's the identity of the element. So again, if you look at any periodic table, you can pull one up on another tab. You can check your calendar or your planners. Here I just have this periodic table with me because I like to look at things in my hand. So we're looking for magnesium. Right there, you'll see that the atomic number in the left-hand corner is 12, and you'll notice that the atomic mass is this smaller number, and that's 24.3, which we'll just round it to 24. So again, focusing on the atomic number of 12, we know for sure we can immediately plug in what our number of protons is, and it's always going to be the same as our atomic number. So I'm going to plug in 12 right there. For our mass number, I just looked at that. We just looked at it together, so I'll check it one more time. Mass number 24. I'm going to keep it at 24. I'm not going to worry about decimals. 24. Okay, so the number of neutrons was already given to us, but what needs to happen with your protons and neutrons have to equal 24. So what's 12 plus 12? 12 plus 12 is equal to 24, so we're good. And same thing in helium, 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. We're good. As long as these two numbers add up to that number, you're good. And number of electrons is always going to be equal to the number of what? Protons. So I'm going to put a number 12 here. Now it's not always going to be the same. Sometimes you'll have some different numbers. So here we can try zinc together. So right away, looking at zinc, it's already given us the atomic number and the mass number. So we know that the number of protons is always going to be the same as the atomic number. So I'm going to plug in number 30 there. And then how do we find the number of neutrons? Here's where it's going to be a little bit different. It's not going to be the same as the number of protons. Because if it was 30 here, we would have 30 plus 30, which is 60, right? And that's not going to be right because that doesn't equal 65. So this number plus this number has to equal that number. So it can't be 30. So what's 65 minus 30? That's a good way to figure it out. If you don't know off the top of your head, you can just plug it in a calculator. 65 minus 30. You can see 35. That's how many are left over. So we can go back to our assignment here, plug it in to 35. We're going to know that 30 plus 35 is 65. So we are good. And then leaving us with the number of electrons, what do they have to balance out with? Our protons. So we're going to have 30 electrons there. So that's the one thing that I've been seeing mostly people are making mistakes on, making sure these two numbers, your protons and your neutrons, have to add up to our mass number. So protons plus neutrons equals mass number. And for this second part, we found out that you can, if this link is not working for you, go to our class announcement page right here, and then you can click on this link right here, and it brings you to a different kind of simulation which works. And what you're going to do is click on symbol, and it'll run this for you. This will do exactly the same thing that we want it to be doing. So the first atom we're supposed to be creating is helium. Now the only thing you want to click here is make sure it is stable and unstable, because that'll tell us if our numbers are correct. So if we're starting with helium, how many protons do we need? Well, actually I can check here too and it'll pop up. But helium has 2 protons. So I gotta make sure I have 2 protons if that's the one I'm building. 2 protons. then you know, ooh, it's telling you it's unstable. So we got to figure out how to make our nucleus stable. We need to match it up and then put our electrons on there. Because it says it's an ion, that means it has a positive charge. We have more protons than electrons. So we're going to plug that on there. And now we're good. We have a neutral atom. That's what we wanted. And we have helium. So for each atom that you are to be creating, just make sure you put the right number of protons. It'll tell you what atom it is. And try to balance it out with the neutrons. And you can always go back to figuring out what the mass number is. So like if you're going to do magnesium, you can figure out, okay, how many neutrons do I need? Well, I need to have 12 plus 12 is equal to 24. So you know you would need to have 12 protons and 12 neutrons to be your nucleus. So when you're done with making each of your atoms, all you really need to do is take a screenshot of it. So since I'm working on this kind of computer, you push the control button and then this button right here, print screen. That'll screenshot your screen that you're looking at right now. And then all you need to do is go back to your assignment and paste it on. You can by right click and then paste. And that should put it right back on there. If you need any help with getting your images on here, feel free to message me on Hangouts or email me and I'll help you get that all good for tomorrow. All right. I'll be checking in with you guys later. And again, let me know if you have any questions.